Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tapping Liberation Home Study course. This is your fourth module, actually. It is the third chakra, and the toxic emotion we're focusing on is anger. And there are just several things that I want to mention to you about anger. And I'm going to start with one of Aristotle's most famous quotes. Anyone can become angry, that is easy. But to be angry with the right person, to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose, and in the right way, that is not easy. And that begins to set up one of the great dichotomies between East and West. From the Western perspective, we inherited from the Greek philosophers, it's very appropriate and important to be angry at the right time, in the right way, with the right person. From the Enlightenment traditions of India and China and Japan, from the Hindu and the Buddhist perspectives, the Taoist perspectives particularly, they believe that through dedicated spiritual practice, that anger can be removed completely. Now, that usually is for people that are on the path to enlightenment. That's not the everyday householder. But they do advocate, of course, mastering and managing your emotions in a wise way. So even today, in the 21st century, we still have this Western perspective of all of our emotions are important and valuable, and then how do we embody them and use them as tools for emotional intelligence and literacy, or do we look at the Buddhist perspective of anger can and should be completely eradicated from consciousness? So there's that point. And I think that for all of us on just how do we be happy in life, much less how do we be liberated and free in life, it's very important to look at mastering, managing our emotions on a spectrum or a path. And so, part of even doing this course and this work is how do I deal with the 5 toxic emotions stored in the 5 chakras in a way that I can become free of them and that I can actually be master of my own experience and have choice. Even though I might be feeling intense anger, I still have the skills to choose wisely how to respond to that anger and from that anger in my choices. So it's a conundrum that has faced us for thousands and thousands of years, actually. So that's that. The focus is on the 3rd chakra, the solar plexus, right beneath the rib cage. That is the seat of personal power. And when we are angry in inappropriate ways, that energy is stored in the 3rd chakra. So clearing the 3rd chakra also means managing our anger day in and day out, our frustrations, our irritations, the ways that we snap at people or circumstance, whether it's traffic or too many people on the line at the bank or the grocery store or the dry cleaners or at our partners. We snap at them. And usually the Course in Miracles says, I'm never angry for the reason that I think I am. And I think there's some real wisdom in that. The other thing that I want to talk about is in Buddhism, particularly the Dalai Lama talks about the 3 poisons. And those are the 3 toxic emotions that are held at the lower 3 chakras, the base chakra, the sexual chakra, and then the solar plexus chakra. The first poison is fear or aversion. And how do I repel from what life is presenting me in the moment? And that's the first chakra. The second chakra is grasping. How do I attach myself to pleasant sensations or feelings or states of minds or experiences or people, the things that give me pleasure in life, and how am I over-attached to them? And then the third chakra is anger. And So in the Buddhist instruction of liberation, enlightenment, freedom, they talk about mastering the three poisons. And those three toxic emotions very specifically help the ego stay in a very immature, reactive, um, disturbed uh, place. And so mastering those three emotions is really about how to move up the chakra system, be able to liberate yourself and move energetically up from the lower three chakras into the heart, and then actually beginning to live and express yourself through the higher chakras. So that's that. The toxic emotions is a very, very full spectrum in anger, from irritation, frustration, all the way to anger, resentment, uh, fury, wrath, the entire intensity of anger and all the ways that it appears and arises. I think also working with this third chakra and with anger as an emotion is very, very important for a lot of spiritual people that I know. We tend to disown our anger. We tend to keep it locked in the dungeon or in the basement um, because we're supposed to be nice. We're supposed to be spiritual, and nice people don't get angry. Spiritual people don't get angry. And um, what we come to realize is that it's the people who can express their emotions in their pure brilliance in a way that is authentic and real and spontaneous, and yet don't have to react or respond to those emotions. They have the skills, they have the wisdom, and they have the compassion to for right action. To answer Aristotle's question, the wise person, the enlightened person, um, recognizes that impulse of anger in their body and knows how to express it in the right way to the right person in the right degree at the right time for the right purpose. So that's just a few thoughts on anger. You can proceed now to the demonstration, the emotional brilliance process for excavating and uncovering some of those early memories of anger in your own experience, and then tapping through them and freeing yourself from them, and then embracing um, those memories in the wrap of the loving, compassionate, enlightened voices of the Divine Mother and pure stillness of being and the myriad voices that we speak to. So thank you so much. Enjoy the emotional brilliance process.